Hey everybody, we're here to do another repair video. This one we're going to go ahead and actually change out the home button on this phone. You can see that we have our new home button here. Going to change it to black to make sure it matches the actual phone once I get the new housing for it as well. We need a pentalobe screwdriver to go ahead and undo the two bottom screws here. Make sure our phone is powered off. When you need an opening tool, I like to use this iSesamo tool. It's nice and thin. Get underneath there. Guitar pick will help out and don't want to scratch the mid-frame. A couple of pry tools, a nylon spudger, and a safe opening tool, and a Phillips screwdriver, smaller, possibly like a 00 or something like that, to get the screws. Starting with the pentalobe first, go ahead and undo the two bottom screws holding the display to the housing. Go ahead and just remove both of these. We're going to use a guitar pick to try it out here. Now, a lot of these plastic tools, if your housing's kind of dented like this it can be really hard to get the screen. And it doesn't necessarily work. Sometimes they chip off and break, much like this one just did. As you can see, popped out. So we're going to use our metal opening tool here, this iSesamo tool. Will get us right to where we need to go. Just put it right next to the home button. Be nice and safe as you open it. Then take a guitar pick and just run it down the sides a little bit, and we'll go ahead and help pry it open. Once you get it started, you can go ahead and just slide this tool around the sides of the device. You want to be careful as you're opening this. You don't want to slam it all the way open. There's a ribbon cable that connects the home button to the bottom of the device here for the fingerprints scanner. So we're just going to take our time and make sure we open it nice and safely. Just get those pry tools down the side. So now that we have it open, we can hinge it just a little bit, and you can see that there is a ribbon cable in the middle here. If you go ahead and just slide the cover to the left or right, you can go ahead and just use a safe tool to pop the covering off of the cable, then pop the cable up. There's a little opening tool. Now, a lot of people will undo the battery and they take the screen off to do the home button. And we're going to try to do this one a little bit different, so you can take this piece off and undo all the connectors. I don't want to fiddle with it too much, so what I'm actually going to do is just try to prop it up with a tool here in a second. You just kind of hold it and just take the screws out. There's only 3 screws that hold this home button in. So we'll do the first one that holds in the little antenna connector. Usually stays in there. Just make sure that you keep track of which one the antenna connector is. Undo the 2 Phillips screws that are holding in the metal plate for the home button. Go ahead and just remove the metal plate. You can go ahead and peel up this home button here. Use a spudger just to get underneath the cable and work our way. Now, normally there's some adhesive that holds the rubber gasket on. If you have that, you can go ahead and just press it. This one didn't have a ton on it. It would just kind of sit in right here. So you want to take your time. You don't want to rip the gasket. This is something you're going to transfer to the new button. We're just going to go ahead and gently peel off this rubber gasket. Just take your time to remove it. It does have some adhesive to the button itself. So we're just going to go ahead and just gently pry it off the back of the home button. And let's go ahead and pull it down the ribbon cable here. Now we can go ahead and take this. Remember which side was down, the little ridged edge goes towards the back of the device, so you want to make sure that you put it on correctly. I'm going to slide it down and go just right behind the cable here. There's usually enough adhesive that's going to hold this gasket back into place again. If not, you can just use a little bit of either the double-sided 3M tape or a little tiny amount of super glue will work as well. Make sure you just get it positioned correctly for the corners. This will keep a lot of the dust and junk out of your phone. this little rubber gasket still has a lot of adhesive on it, so we're not going to apply anything else to it. Just wiggle it around and make sure it gets even and in place, that it was just like it was on the prior home button. Go ahead and remove another piece off this device, which I actually forgot to pull off this home button here. Pull off our little sticker connector. Now when you're putting the home button in, there's a little peg for the top button portion that needs to go in there. Make sure you take the screw and the little antenna connector off of this old home button here. Now the new button doesn't come with this little plastic piece that has the screw hole. It's just a little piece of adhesive and a plastic piece that helps fold this portion over on the home button here. So what we're going to need to do is go ahead and remove it from the old button as well. Now it just pills right up. So we're just going to pull it off right here. Just make sure you don't rip it. We're going to take it and put an adhesive side down on our new button. Does not need to go over the cable like I just did here. I'll realize in a second that I made a mistake. Just going to take a pry tool and leverage this open. Get tired of having to hold it. This is a good trick to do. So we're going to take this little plastic screw connector that pulls on, or it actually just adheses to the home button. Make sure you put it on correctly, so that when the home button folds over, you have the screw hole that lines up with the back of the display. There's a little tiny pin that you can see that actually puts this right into place. It's going to fold over and it's going to line up perfectly with the screw hole here. What we're going to do next is go ahead and take this little metal housing piece and put it on the back of the button. You can go ahead and insert the two screws onto the back of this little metal plate that we just took off. Go ahead and move this little portion over so I can put the new cable portion in. Fold over and just make sure it's going to work correctly. This little antenna piece right here, you want to make sure that the arm, the tip of it, is facing to the right. So it can be a little bit tricky, and my screw just popped off. I caught it, it's okay. Try to insert it through the hole and then kind of tip it up. Just make sure you don't lose it. Just slingshot it across my workspace again. I am not having luck. I should magnetize a screwdriver a little bit more, apparently. So our little antenna connector came off. We're just going to go ahead and put it back on there again. Just make sure it's lined up perfectly before I go ahead and try to put the screw back in. This is the trickiest part of the entire repair, seems like. Perfect, there we go. Now I can go ahead and take the device, move the screen again just to the side for the cable to be pushed down. If you have narrow fingers, you can go ahead and usually just push it into place. Mine are a little bit too fat to get it right back in there, so I might have to use a pry tool to put the screen down, or this connector onto the phone here. We're going to take our little metal connector. The slotted side goes towards the left of the device. The right side, of the little sticking out connection spot, will go towards the charging port. Make sure you put it in the proper direction. It's like a hinge, so put the two slotted sides in first and then push down to get it connected. I'm going to go ahead and power the device on here real fast. Let's double check the functionality of the home button. It's going to power on for us. We didn't wiggle the cables loose. We're going to go ahead and just reinsert our home screen here. Just reseat it back into its proper place. You can see that our home button is properly working. Next step is to go ahead and insert the two pentalobe screws. Just going to double check and make sure that everything's functioning correctly for us. And that is the replacement of the home button. Just turn on the voice activation. So definitely working for us. Thanks for watching, you guys, as always, and I will see you on the next video.